right, so as always, thank you so much for joining me. Tonight we are continuing our pregnancy themed yoga, which of course is accessible to all bodies. So you absolutely don't need to be pregnant to enjoy these yoga classes, but the intention is that if you have a growing belly like mine, that these poses will be very accessible to you. And as you can see, we have a lot of props handy. So if you have any of the props, actually I meant to grab a strap too. If you have any of these props handy available, feel free to grab them real quick. We're going to be demoing some options with a strap. So if you have a strap handy, or a string or a rope or a scarf or anything similar, feel free to grab something like that. I also have blocks handy, and especially if you are pregnant, I have lots of pillows handy that we can incorporate. You'll also notice I have a chair handy, and I can also use the wall. So just, feel free to find whatever props you have available. We're going to demonstrate and explore many different options for them. But to get started, we will begin in a seated position. So please join me on your seat. And as always, you can customize this posture as well. If you have a pillow, you can put that underneath of your bum. You can sit up on your knees and put a pillow underneath your knees, or underneath your bum there as well. So a lot of different ways to customize even this opening posture. And if being on the floor is really uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to start on a chair as well. Alrighty, let's turn our focus inward and take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Take another longer, deeper inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it all go. And take your third largest, deepest breath yet. Try to fill your lungs to their max capacity. Pause when you reach the top. And forcibly exhale everything out, letting your shoulders melt away from your ears, allowing your arms to hang a little heavier. And if you haven't already, gently close your eyes. Continue to take long, slow, deep inhales through the nose, and long, slow, complete exhales through the nose. Allow your attention to focus inward. And try to ignore any of those distractions outside of your mat. Any to-do list items, lingering thoughts, just go ahead and set them off to the side. They'll be waiting for us when we're finished. I invite you to take this opportunity to set an intention for your class for today. Maybe something to help carry you through the next 30 minutes or the rest of the day, or something that's been carrying you through the day. Just in case nothing is coming to mind, I do have an affirmation to share with you today. I look for things to be thankful for. I look for things to be thankful for. I have a perpetual attitude of gratitude. I am content to be who and what I am. I look for things to be thankful for. Beautiful. On your next inhale, sit just a little taller. And on your exhale, let your shoulders fall just a little heavier. And when you're ready, begin to blink your eyes open. On your inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, gentle back bend, cactus the arms, lift the chest. Inhale, rise. Exhale, gentle twist to the right, bringing your left hand to your right knee, right hand to the base of your spine, moving nice and slow with control. Inhale, come to center, arms up. And exhale, twisting to the left, bring your left hand to the base of your spine and your right hand to your left knee. Gently look over your left shoulder. And inhale, come back to center. Turn your right ear toward your right shoulder. Feeling a nice stretch through the left side of your neck and just holding it for a moment. So not pulling or straining too hard, just allowing the weight of your head to easily stretch all the way from the bottom of your ear, maybe as low as the tip of your shoulder. Allowing your left shoulder to reach down. Beautiful. Inhale, slowly come back to center. And as you exhale, turn down to the other side. So left ear drawing toward the left shoulder. Feeling a nice stretch through your right neck side. Just letting gravity and the weight of your head do the work for you. No strain, no pressure. Beautiful. Slowly come back to center. And then tilt your chin downward. Keeping your chest lifted, allow your chin to turn down toward your chest. And once again, not straining, just allowing gravity to lengthen the back of your neck, softening through the shoulder blades, keeping the chest lifted so we're not rounding the spine. And inhale, come back to center. If you have a strap or something similar, go ahead and grab it. If not, I'll have a different variation to show you. So we're gonna stretch out our shoulders a little bit. So grabbing on either end of a strap or a scarf or a rope or anything this length, really handy, a towel even. Go ahead and reach your arms up and allow this to open up through the shoulders. Now, if you don't have anything at all handy, you can just open up and pull the shoulder blades down your back. That'll give you a really similar sensation. And if you don't have anything handy now, maybe come back and revisit this stretch because having a strap can be really helpful to give you a different experience. Allow your shoulders, if you're using the strap, allow your hands to reach behind you, opening up through the shoulders, shoulder blades, chest, and upper back, only to the point where it feels comfortable. So you shouldn't have any pain in your shoulders here, allowing your elbows to bend gently. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring your right arm down and your left arm up. So keeping nice long grip on strap, keeping your hands nice and far apart, reaching your right hand down and behind you as you reach the left arm to the sky. Now, if you don't have a strap or anything to hold on to, go ahead and still do these arm movements. You probably won't get quite as deep, but that's okay. You can always come back to this. Beautiful. Now gently turn your torso so your right hand can come down to the mat and just keep arching through the torso to feel a nice bend through the left side of your body. So we're not really using the strap here, we're just allowing gravity. Maybe even bend the right elbow if you want to deepen that stretch. We're using gravity to allow us to bend and feel a nice stretch through the left side body of our torso. Inhale, come back up. Using your strap, come back to center, and then switch hands, switch sides. So bring your left hand down, right arm reaches up. Now your grip might be closer together, you might be further apart. It's all going to depend on how flexible you feel in the shoulders. So really move with ease and grace and move to find what feels good in these stretches. There's no prescribed angle or intensity. We really just want to allow this stretch to help us feel good. Beautiful. And then lower your left hand all the way down to the mat, reaching up through the right arm and then bending over to the left side, stretching along the right side body. Maybe even bend the left elbow for a deeper bend. You can keep your right elbow extended long or bend it. Maybe even pull it back if that feels good. Again, just exploring your range of motion and finding what feels good. Come back to center and then release your strap or scarf or whatever you have. Beautiful. Come to all fours, come to your tabletop. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And let's take a few rounds of cow and cat here. So inhale, cow pose. Let the belly drop. Roll the shoulders down your back to broaden through the chest and collarbone, tipping your tailbone to the sky. Exhale, cat pose. Round the spine, tuck your chin, push the mat straight down. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. We're going to do this a few more times. I do want to offer you a different option for this pose. If for whatever reason being on the ground or being on your wrists is not very comfortable, you can choose to use a chair for this, either in a seated, still kneeling on your knees, so just still mimicking cow and cat flexion through the spine. Or if even that's not comfortable, you can use the back of the chair or a wall to do this same flexion of the spine standing. So just think about tipping the tailbone up, broadening through the collarbone for cow, and rounding through the spine and tucking the chin for cat. So you have a lot of different levels that you can choose from to find the right movement that feels good through the spine here. Beautiful. All right, so sticking on the ground, or you can actually do this part standing as well. Gently just wag your hips from side to side. Imagine you have a tail and you're wagging your tail, but move your hips from side to side. And as you're moving, feel a little stretch through the outside hip flexor and glute of the side that you're moving toward. So you can choose how intensely you move your hips from side to side, but feel those little stretches along the outside of either hip. Beautiful. Now, continuing with that theme, let's go ahead and make big hip circles. So starting with one side, moving forward, and then moving to the other side, and then pushing the hips back, almost a child's pose. Continuing in really big circles. And once you come around the next time, go ahead and move the opposite direction. So switching, going backwards to the left. Nice and slow, breathing into each of those movements along your hip circles. Beautiful. And then come back to your tabletop and step your right foot back. So keeping both hands down, left knee still on the mat, step your right foot back and just gently rock back and forth, feeling a nice stretch through the back of the calf, maybe even along the right arch, maybe even through the toes. Gently rocking back and forth. Beautiful. Now come back to center. With your right leg still extended, lift the leg up. So this is a little bit more of an active pose. You're going to be activating through the right glute and thigh. And then slowly draw your right knee toward your right elbow. Doesn't have to touch. And then extend it all the way back again. And when you're extending it, really kick through the heel, flexing the toes down, maybe even try to separate your toes, trying to create space between each toe. And then draw your right knee to the right elbow one more time. Doesn't have to touch. And then slowly kick it back again. Beautiful. And then bring your right knee down to the mat. Now, if your wrists are getting a little sore, we're going to take a moment here to stretch out our wrists. So take your wrists one at a time. I'll start with my left. Flip your palm up and your fingers back toward you. So we're going to slowly rock back and forth, opening up and stretching the top of our wrist. Still moving nice and slow. And then we'll switch sides. So plant your left wrist down and then bring your right palm up, fingers pointed back towards you. You can choose how close your hand is to your torso, to your knee. Just finding the area that feels right. You don't want to cause any pain through the wrists. You just want a nice, gentle stretch, rocking forward and back. Beautiful. Coming back to our tabletop, fingers nice and wide. And then extend your left leg behind you. So still starting with those calf stretches, pushing your heel back, rocking forward, feeling the stretch all the way from the calf, through the ankle, through the heel and arch, and maybe even the toes. Think about all the areas that you can feel this and you can stretch and breathe into. Beautiful. And then coming back to center, we'll lift our left leg again. So activate through that left glute, kick the heel behind you, maybe even try to separate your toes. And then slowly draw your left knee towards your left elbow. It doesn't have to touch. And then extend it back again. Maybe activating that glute a little deeper. Last time here, pulling the knee forward and then kicking it back behind you. Extend and push. Beautiful. Coming back to tabletop, both knees down. Inhale, reach your left leg back and put it in the same line as your right knee. So line up your right hand, your right knee, and your left foot. And then slowly open through the chest, lifting your left arm to the sky. Supported side plank. Open up through that left shoulder, trying to stack left shoulder over right, reaching the fingers as high up as you can. And then slowly bring your left hand back down. And then line up your left hand, left knee, and right foot in one straight line. And allow your right arm to reach to the sky, opening up through the right shoulder. Reach those fingers a little higher and slowly come back down. Beautiful. Come back to a seat. And for this one, we will be sitting on our bum. So if it helps, you can go ahead and put a cushion or a pillow underneath your butt. And if you have blocks, I would encourage you to grab one. If not, that's okay. You can still do the stretch without them. We're going to start with our same easy stretch. So start with your legs crossed and then start to take your front shin and reach it a little bit forward. Now, if you have a block and you'd like to deepen this stretch a little bit, you can place the block underneath your left foot or left calf, wherever it feels good to land, and allow your right shin to be straight across right in front of you. So don't keep it too close to the body. Allow your right foot to come out so your right shin is going straight across right in front of you. Bring your left shin or ankle up onto a block if that feels good. If you don't have a block, that's okay. You can just extend it slightly forward, so wherever that feels good. And then walk your hands a little forward and see how this feels on your left hip. So this is a bit of a left hip stretch, double pigeon. So you don't want to walk so far forward that you're rounding at the spine. Keep the chest lifted, roll your shoulders down your back. Shift your chest forward, pulling from the sternum until you feel a little stretch along the back side of your left thigh and hip flexor. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up to center. And then we're going to switch sides. So bring your left shin down so it's straight across going in front of you. Maybe move your block over to the right if you're using it. And again, you can place it underneath your ankle or your calf, really wherever it feels good to land. And then slowly walk your hands forward, feeling a nice stretch through the outer side of your right hip flexor. Beautiful. Slowly walk it back. Great job. Now, if you have your block, keep it handy. Bring your right sole of your foot along the inside of your left thigh and extend your left leg out to the side. Now, if you have a block, you can place it along the outside of your left thigh or left knee. If you're more flexible and feel comfortable, you might want to grab all the way forward to the toe, but you have a lot of options of where your hand can land. So inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, head to knee pose. So you can reach your left arm toward the left foot. You can allow the left arm to rest on the block, which is just beside your left thigh if that feels good. Or maybe even reach all the way towards your foot. Toes, if you can grab them. Don't worry about how far you can reach. Really worry about keeping the chest lifted and feeling a nice stretch through the right side body and along the back of your left leg. So you'll feel this in a few different positions. Holding nice and slow. Beautiful. Slowly come all the way back up and then we'll switch sides. So extend your right leg out to the side. Bring your left foot along the inside of your right thigh. If you're using the block, go ahead and bring it over to your left, to the outside of your right thigh. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, drop your right arm down, either on the block or the leg or the toes, wherever it feels good to land. Feeling the stretch along the left side body and the back of your right leg. Inhale, slowly come back up. Remove the block if you're using it. Bring both legs forward, out in front of you. Give your knees a little shake. Bring your right knee up and just hold on to your right shin with your right hand. Bring your left hand along the outside of your left leg and gently twist toward the left side. So holding it, your right knee with your right arm, left hand comes either to the side or to the back of the spine, depending on where it's comfortable to land. And just a gentle twist. So if you have a pregnant belly, you're not going to twist quite as deep. That's totally okay. We're just giving the spine a little twist through here. Inhale, come back to center. And keeping the leg the same, just switch the grip slightly. So holding on to the right knee with the left hand, again, keeping lots of space for belly. Right hand at the base of your spine and gentle twist. Inhale, come back to center. We'll do both sides again with the other leg outstretched. So reach your right leg out, bring your left leg up, holding on with your left hand. Right hand at the base of your spine or out to the side if that feels more comfortable. Inhale, sit nice and tall. Exhale, gentle twist toward the right. Inhale, come back to center. Keeping the legs, just switch the grip. Right arm reaches to the outside of the left leg. Sit nice and tall and twist just through the top half of your spine. So still keeping lots of room for belly. Inhale, come back to center. And then gently make your way all the way down to your back. Taking your time to get there. Keep your feet flat on the mat and your knees pointing to the sky. Now, if it's comfortable, you can walk your heels a little closer to your bum, but keep your knees straight up and allow your feet to stay hip width distance apart. So your legs stay completely parallel. Inhale for bridge pose. Lifting your hips up, maybe walking your shoulders underneath of you if that feels good. Only lifting as high as it feels comfortable. So maybe you can activate the glutes to lift your hips a little higher, feeling a nice stretch to the front of those hip flexors. Now, if you'd like this to be a little bit more relaxing, but still get a good spine stretch, you can place a block underneath your the small of your back, just above your tailbone. And that can be a nice way to allow the spine to get a good stretch. If you want to be a little bit more active, you can just push the hips a little higher. Inhale, slowly draw your hips back down. Beautiful. Extend your legs forward and then slowly reach yourself all the way up to a seated position. Keeping your hands behind you. So feet are still roughly parallel. They can be wider apart if that feels better. Keeping your hands behind you. I like to point my fingers backwards, but if your wrists feel or arms feel better in a different position, feel free to find that. Now, option to stay right here and just lift the chest, arching the back. Or if it feels good, find reverse tabletop, lifting the hips. Again, you don't have to go super high, just enough off the mat. And notice where you feel this in the shoulders, maybe in the legs, maybe in the back. Maybe let your head fall back. Maybe lift the hips a little higher if that feels good. Really strengthening through the back side of our muscles. And then slowly come all the way back down with your hips. Good job. Alrighty, so before we get into our final resting posture, I'd like you to consider what props you may want to use. So again, if you have blocks or pillows, especially if you are pregnant, feel free to adjust those now. So I'll go ahead and put a pillow behind my back, or you don't have to be pregnant to do these too. These are great modifications for your Shavasana. Maybe put some pillows behind you. You can also choose another great option if you have the chair, is you can choose to put your legs up on the chair. So we're gonna end in our Shavasana, but we're gonna prepare for it just a little bit, maybe with some pillows, maybe with a chair. If you have a chair, you can put your legs up on it like this. If you have blocks, you can put them underneath your feet or behind your head if that feels good. So I want you to take a moment here and find your preferred, most comfortable resting position. So I'll just use all the tools I have in this demonstration. And when you're ready, take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, sigh everything out. Allow your shoulders to relax. And begin to release each muscle group through the body. Relax through your toes, the balls of your feet, your arches and your heels. Relax through your ankles, your calves, your kneecaps, and your thighs. Try to soften through the hips and the glutes. Relax through the belly and the low spine. See if you can breathe into those areas to help release tension. Relax your fingertips, your palms, and your wrists. Soften through your forearms, your elbows, and your biceps. Relax through the shoulders, the neck, and relax through your upper back. Allow yourself to feel weightless and supported. Soften through the neck and release all of the muscles in your face. And begin to bring a little more awareness back to your breath and your body. Take a slightly deeper inhale through the nose and exhale, sigh it out. Reach your arms up over your head, and if it feels okay, extend your legs all the way out in front of you for a wall-to-wall stretch. Point your toes, get long, get lean. And then slowly, ever so slowly and gently, find your way back to a seated position. Maybe keeping your eyes closed, maybe rolling over to one side. If sitting on a cushion feels better, go ahead and find your seated position. Inhale, draw your arms up to the sky. Close your palms together and lower your thumbs in front of your chest. Take a deep inhale through the nose. May we look inward for validation and acceptance. Inhale, draw your thumbs to your lips. May we speak words of truth, kindness, and encouragement. Inhale, draw your thumbs to your third eye center. May we be the change we wish to see in this world. Take a deep inhale to fill yourself with love and light, and exhale to share that with the world. Namaste.